I didn't care more than words can say, if I didn't care.
I'm Larry Curley. I'm the marshal here in Magdalena. Magdalena is a small spot in the world. We're about 250 miles from the Mexican border. We have U.S. Highway 60. It's a main corridor for drugs. I need your driver's license, please, your insurance. For the last 29 years in working in law enforcement, the major thing that's changed is the drug trafficking.
What are you looking for, the drug guys?
Anything, everything.
At first glance, Marshal Curley seemed from a bygone era of law enforcement.
I guess I'm going to portray myself as that kind of person. A man with a white hat, riding gold silver.
But as enforcing drug laws has become the primary focus for police across the country, the nature of his work as a small-town marshal has changed as well.
You got that? What? 2 Hispanic males in a car, dark tinted windows. We want it on that side of the road.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you going to tell her? She knows you're going to jail. You can go ahead and put him in the car.
Okay, if I check in there a little bit more?
So he's got some marijuana there. They had you arrest both these people and tow this car. That's what we're going to do. We're fishing. We're fishing, but we're there again. I mean, you look at trucks like this truck here. That's an Arizona truck. Somebody that's not going to stop and get a motel room. Somebody that's been driving for 24 hours because they don't want to get caught. This is telling me that this person right here could be a drug trafficker.
Because what's he doing
that's
giving you that impression?
The truck and fast food. We're not supposed, it's supposed to be illegal to profile.
Right.
But you kind of, after working so long, you kind of know who's doing something.
So is it sort of phony when people say they don't profile? Is it sort
Oh,
of...
that's all phony. That's all phony. If you don't profile vehicles, you're not in law enforcement. That's the way it is, man. You know? Come on.
Okay, now what about profiling people?
Profiling people, same thing. What's it? Yeah.
We like to believe that the drug war has given law enforcement all these tools, all of this authority in which to pursue criminality and gangsterism. But actually what it did was, it basically destroyed the police deterrent in a very subtle and unintended way.
Going up to 15th Street in Dixie, he's gonna have some crack for him and some oxycodone pills. Joe and I are both sergeants in major narcotics, and we don't do street-level drug deals. We do, larger quantity cases. We're looking for the dealers and the suppliers. Okay, deal is good.
Guys, move in.
A world away from Magdalena and the streets of Miami, I began to see the real impact of the drug war on law enforcement.
Start thinking about why you're in handcuffs, and maybe you can help yourself out, okay? So what happened is to the second guy, he's now running on foot. Yeah, that's where we believe he might have gone in there. I guess we're gonna have to write this up as a separate case. Totally unrelated to the original drug deal we did, but we stumble upon a house where a couple of big stacks of money, a good amount of marijuana. That's sometimes how things happen, they're not even planned.
Nobody respects good police work more than me. I spent more than a decade covering it, and there are a lot of detectives who I admire for their professionalism, for their craft.
Hey, what's up? Can I help you?
No, sir.
The drug war created an environment in which none of that was rewarded.
Come on over here for a second. Let's get his ID. He's just cutting through the yard.
A drug arrest does not require anything other than getting out of your radio car and jacking people up against the side of a liquor store. Probable cause? Are you kidding?
I don't want to say a majority of the people, but there's a good number of people probably in this area that are also involved in drug dealing.
The problem is there's a real tendency on the part of law enforcement to think geographically, to go throw resources at an area. It's fish in a barrel for law enforcement. Anytime you need to make an arrest, you troll through there. Everybody committing crimes in that area gets arrested. People who are in the area who aren't committing crimes get stopped. It makes everybody angry.
Watching arrest after arrest, I began to see for the first time the destructive impact of drug laws not only on those they target, but on those who enforce them as well.
The problem is that cop that made that cheap drug arrest, he's going to get paid. He's going to get the hours of overtime for taking the drugs down to ECU. He's going to get paid for processing the prisoner down at Central Booking. He's going to get paid for sitting back at his desk and writing the paperwork for a couple hours. And he's going to do that 40, 50, 60 times a month so that his base pay might end up being only half of what he's actually paid as a police officer.
Most important thing right here.
We're paying a guy for stats.
We can leave them here, and then we can go back out and do this other deal.
Compare that guy to the one guy doing police work, solving a murder, a rape, a robbery, a burglary. If he gets lucky, he makes one arrest for the month. He gets one slip signed. And at the end of the month, when they look and they see, Officer A, he made 60 arrests. Officer B made one arrest. Who do you think they make the sergeant?
Okay, let's move in, guys, move in.
In a city like, say, Baltimore, where I'm from, our percentage of arrest for murder, for rape, and robbery are half of what they once were. Our drug arrest stats are twice of what they once were.
So what does that do?
It makes a city unlivable. It makes a police department where nobody can solve a fucking crime.
Beyond the incentives that exist for individual officers, it turns out that whole departments have a monetary interest in increased drug arrests.
Most people don't realize that the financial incentives built into the system virtually guarantee that the overwhelming majority of drug arrests in the United States will be for non-violent, low-level drug offenses.
A couple of months ago, we did a 2-day operation. We arrested over 200 people, a majority of them for selling drugs. A lot of the money comes out of seizures from the drug profits that the bigger players are making off of this. So I guess that money is being put to good use.
So where you get all that money? That money's ours now. That's my money now.
If I leave this room and I go out there and get in my old truck and I drive down the highway with $5,000 cash in my pocket that I earned, and if I'm pulled over by a state trooper who says, oh, you have a defective taillight or something, they can take that $5 grand, never charge me with a crime, take my old truck to boot, keep them forever. It's called RICO, civil asset seizure. It goes on every day in counties all over this country.
Hey, can we get somebody get a tow slip for this fine piece of machinery?
Yeah, see, like our $118,000 I pulled over right here and we comp arrested the guy. With the $25,000 I got out of that seizure. That's what we bought this car for.
Okay, so wait a second. So the police department operates on the money it seizes?
Sometimes.
This is legal within the state of New Mexico.
It's allegedly legal.
No, it is legal. You're not getting the point.
No,
everything.
I am getting the point. Probable cause.
What happens is, with every successive encounter between one of our drug warriors and a citizen that goes awry,
The people are out here minding their own business.
respect for cops and the laws they're trying to enforce is lost.
The guy was upset because he's saying that we were stopping him illegally. It was unconstitutional. He feels like he's been violated. Is that fair? Maybe not. But I have a job to do.
Despite their commitment to their work, officers I spoke to across the country expressed growing concern not only about the effectiveness of drug laws, but about their larger impact on the relationship between police and the public.
That's one of the biggest hurdles, how much time the community has spent feeling like they couldn't trust the police.
In Providence, officers who 20 years ago appeared on TV as the picture of tough-on-crime cops today seem conflicted over how things got where they are and what a better approach might look like.
If you're going to go out there and go and cause chaos, might as well put you on a structured program. And the military is a structured program. Send them to a boot camp, see how they make out in the boot camp.
National service.
National service, something.
I mean, we're doing our part out here, and it's frustrating a lot for us because it just seems like because they're addicts, they find themselves committing the same crime that just put them in the jail, say, a week or so prior.
Hold on a second.
All right, whoa.
What's going on? Let me see ID, please. Let me see ID.
My ID?
Come on, get some responsibility to go with the parents. Listen, straighten your kid out.
Well, that's easier said than done when you have absentee parents.
Why are you motherfucking
Relax, man. Relax.
Some of these households, the father is non-existent. The mother is trying to raise a family. Those kids, the percentage of kids that break out of that is really low.
Please. It's not me.